Good morning, everybody. Welcome to the show. My name is Paul K. Lemire. This is Your City, Your Voice, coming to you live from the studios of Video Sign Incorporated this morning. That's right. This weather is so crappy. I said, I ain't going out there. Forget about it. These guys can't drive in good weather. You get all the Subaru drivers out there, and you got a nightmare. So I said, heck with that. I'm going to stay right here in the Video Sign Incorporated studios and do the show safely. Anyway, welcome to the show. Thank you for tuning in on this Manic Monday. Of course, it's November 10th. Tomorrow is Remembrance Day. We'll be doing a Remembrance Day show. Dave Wheeler will be in the studio, and we'll be doing the big Remembrance Day show tomorrow, talking about everything. We have a certain subject we're going to cover tomorrow. We always pick one battle or one person to honor and talk about. And tomorrow it's going to be Hammy. So that's what we're talking about tomorrow. You got to tune in to see the show. It's going to be a good one. We recite in Flanders Fields. It's a very touching show. We invite you to join us in the Remembrance Day celebration to remember those who've fallen before us and paid the ultimate price for our freedoms in Canada. So, what's going on? What's going on outside right now? It's 30 degrees. It's still 30. It was 30 at 5:30 this morning when I got up, with the barometer dropping to 29.18 inches of mercury, 988.2, or 99.8 kilopascals for you purists. All the same, 78% humidity, and that's why we're seeing a little bit of snow still coming down right now. This morning, and we're seeing temperatures expected to climb back up into the mid 40s later in the week, which should take care of the snow. I don't think I'm going to shovel. I think that the good Lord brought it, and the good Lord can take it away. And rain's predicted later on in the week, so that'll wash this all away. And tomorrow should be a cold day for Remembrance Day. So if you're going to go to any celebrations, please bundle up. Now, don't say I didn't warn you. Everybody's taking a back. Oh, this kind of snow in November. I told you, you got to get your car ready. That's why you have to take your car into Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop. And you probably should have done it a month ago when I told you. Ken Hunter will take your car, put it on his diagnostic equipment, make sure that your systems are go for the winter. He's going to check your brakes. He's going to check your defrosters. He's going to check your heaters. He's going to check everything. He's going to make sure everything's running tip top for you, and you don't get stuck on a day like today. This is what you don't want. That's why you want to be proactive and call Ken and get that appointment now before it even gets worse and it stays here. This is going to be gone, so you're going to be all right if you can get through a couple days here. But it's coming back, and it won't leave at some point in time. Let's go. How do you get a hold of Wild Bill's? Well, you go to wildbillsauto.ca, his website, and you check out all the services he provides. He has a full body shop. If your car gets in a wreck, he can fix it, send it back to you in showroom condition. No problemo. No problemo. And that's what you want. You want your car done and done right and get you all ready for the winter season. While you're at Wild Bill's Auto.ca, don't forget to jump over to YouTube, to Your City, Your Voice, or Paul Lemire. Get to the channel, subscribe. Then when I do a video like this, because I'm not in the 4680Q studio doing this live today, you'll get a notification when I drop the video, and it's going to drop probably by noon. It'll probably be on by noon today. I'm getting an early jump on the show. It's only like 5 after 10 or something like that, 10 after 10. So it'll be on by noon. You can watch it and leave your comments. Give us thumbs up, thumbs down, help the algorithm. Let's get more people involved. We have an election coming up. We have the capital budget out I've been going through, and I'm going to take a look at that on Thursday. Maybe the first 100 pages of it is 330 pages long. Go through some of the stuff, explain some of the stuff, ask some questions, and see if we can find some efficiencies in this budget so our taxes don't have to go up 6%, which they've been talking about. So that's going to come later in the week. Of course, tomorrow's our Remembrance Day tribute. Wednesdays, absolutely. We talk about Habs all day, all Habs. We talk about. And we'll get to our other sponsors, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue and Hamel Machine Company during the show. If you have a comment during the show, right? You can just leave it on the video. I usually have a number for you. You can leave a comment. No use doing it now. You're not going to hear it live. I'll get the messages after. It'll be too late. So we'll get you that number tomorrow, and you can send in a tribute or a comment for the Remembrance Day show. You can text it in to that other phone. I did have one comment from the last show at Blaster9125. 1.87% in St. Catharines in an election year, he said. That's a good point. That's a good point. We do have an election year coming up in 2026. So sometimes they try to squeeze that budget a little tighter to make it look good on them. So St. Catharines came up with a 1.87 increase. Now that's just city taxes. Remember, you've got the region to put on top of that. Then you've got the transit. And then you've got the water, wastewater. So the 1.87% isn't the final number, isn't all your taxes are going to go up. They're going to go up a little bit more than that, even though the city itself is trying to hold the line on taxes, keep it under the 2% inflation rate that's been running around now, and do you a favor. But unfortunately, the region is going to be going up huge. I mean, the police want 11.8% increase in their budget. They're going from 230 million to 240 million, 50 million, 41 million. So they're looking for a pretty big increase. Region's got to deal with that. But let's not forget his first budget as mayor, and he's talking about Mayor Cisco, the Cisco kid, was the highest ever in the city's history. Now, if his first budget if this was his first term, I think it was, that would have been 2023. 2022, they would have got elected and came out with the 2023 budget. Also, the mayor supported every budget increase at the regional level, and this mayor is chair of Niagara Transit, which has asked for massive increases since the beginning. And Blaster 9125, boom, bam, you are right on the money. We've seen Niagara Transit in our own city here, where we were spending about $7.5 million a year to run the transit commission here. We moved everything to St. Catharines, equipment, everything. And we were supposed to at least remain at $7.5 million. There wasn't going to be an increase. We saw it double the first year. And now we're seeing it more than double. It's way more than double. It's going to go up again. So that's a great point. Everybody forgets about that. We've added $7.5 million on our tax rolls from the region for transit, which we were paying $7.5 million for. Our bill last year was $15 million. That all comes back to the taxpayers here, right? It all filters through. I mean, it's one big number, but that's our share, and everybody shares it in the region. But it still increases the amount we have to pay on our regional taxes. So yeah, that's doubled. And this year it's even going to be more than double what we were paying. So that's going to be another slap at us. So great point. All good points. Way to go. You're keeping up on it. Thank you for the comment. I really appreciate it. And if any of you have comments out there, please feel free to send them through. Got to keep an eye on these politicians because they're going to take everything that they can get. They're going to take everything that you're willing to give them. And if nobody complains and nobody says anything, they got a free reign. They got an open ticket. They can just do whatever they want. And everybody says, oh, well, there's nothing we can do about it, blah, blah, blah. And they just load you up with the fear mongering about the services are going to be cut. You're not going to have it. Yeah, you know what? That's a bunch of baloney. That's a bunch of baloney. There's so many efficiencies they could find if they wanted to. There's tax and spend people. They don't care about efficiencies. They just want to get your money. And every year they want their 5% more. And they just blow it. Niagara Falls is probably the premier at doing that. Because we have an extra $20 million we get from the casinos there. Blaster 9125 that you don't get in St. Catharines or nobody else gets in the region. So we even have more opportunity to waste money. And believe me, you give them the opportunity, they're going to do it. That's why you and me and everybody else should be on these guys all the time. It's very important we stay on the council and make sure they're doing what's right for the citizens. They're the custodians, they're the guardians of our money. They're supposed to be protecting us, and we have to make sure that they do their job. Okay, public service announcement. Don't forget the Santa Claus Parade this coming Saturday, November 15th, starting at 4 p.m. With a parade down Victoria Avenue, turning onto Queen Street via that little short piece of alleyway there, and going down to City Hall, where there's going to be a little reception there. They're going to have stuff to do for the kids and everything, and they have displays set up. There's going to be Santa and Mrs. Claus are going to be there for a meet and greet. Get your picture taken with the jolly old red man, and we'll go from there. Yeah, and there goes my cat. See, my cat's yelling now. He likes the Santa Claus parade. You'll hear him in the background. You'll hear him. Do not miss it this Saturday. Bring your kids down, have a good time. So, as we head towards Remembrance Day tomorrow, Fort Erie has a resident that has to be mentioned on my show. There's a lot of stuff I talk about that isn't that great in this city. A lot of crime, homelessness, the whole shot. A lot of negative stuff. But today, I can talk about a gentleman named Bird Sizzler, a veteran of the Second World War. He's the oldest living Canadian and the oldest living Canadian veteran in this area, but there are 6 others in the world that are still living that were in the military during the Second World War. Amazing, 110 years old. He spent 30 years working for Canada Customs, raised his family in Fort Erie. He lives at Garrison Place Retirement Village right now in Fort Erie, and has 5 children, 11 grandchildren, 22 great grandchildren, and 14 great grandchildren. Unbelievable. God bless Mr. Sizzler. And may he live many more years. I'm always amazed at how these people can live that long. 100 years. I don't think I'm going to live past 80, to be honest with you. But my mother just turned 100 in August. And at that home where she's at, there's a few 100-year-old people there. One guy's 107, a gentleman named Marcel. He's 107 years old, still going strong. So, hey, they're out there. Mr. Sizzler at 110. It's amazing. He says he didn't drink or smoke. The only time he got drunk was after he was discharged from the military, and never took up smoking. And that's probably about the same for my mother. She was never a big drinker. She never smoked. Some call them secrets of a long life. Don't drink, don't smoke. Some call them genetics. You're just born with good genetics. You're going to live a long time. But either way, I'm sure the Sizzler family is so happy to have their father still here at 110 years old. Unbelievable. It's a rare honor that most families do not get to witness. God bless this gentleman, 110 years old. My goodness. Thanks to the great story by Ray Spiteri of the Review. Man, oh man, 100. Can you imagine that? 110 years old. I mean, if you're still in decent shape, like my mother, she's still with it. She plays cribbage and that. She has her moments, but she's still pretty well with it. Her eyesight's going, of course. Her hearing's going, of course. But for the most part, she's healthy, and it's amazing. It's really, really amazing. Okay, the numbers are coming in from around the region as councils prepare to release their budgets for the coming 2026 fiscal year. Welland has now checked in with what the mayor calls a pretty lean budget increase of 3.57% for city taxes. Now, of course, the region portion still has to be tacked on to that. But as it stands, the city is looking to collect about $69 a year increase from the city. So your taxes are going to go up, your city portion, $69. Now, on the insidious wastewater side, Wellanders are looking at about a 7% increase on their bill, their wastewater bill. And that's something that is out of municipal council's control. That is handed down to them by the region, by volume, and they have to deal with it. There's not much you can do about that. Frank Campion, Welland's mayor, said the budget does not add any new programming to the city's budget. It looks to me that he's taking the maintenance budget route. Yeah, we always hear that. It's either going to be a catch-up budget or a maintenance budget. We're just going to maintain what we have at 3.57%. Nothing extra. No new programming. Under the strong mayor powers, the mayor can veto any changes to the budget if council decides they will not accept the budget as the mayor presents it. And last year, Campion said he would not use that veto power to undo any council changes. So stay tuned to this one and see where it goes, because that's what he said last year. If they want to change anything, whether it's for the good or bad, they want to drop it more, they want to increase it for certain programs they want, once they discuss it in a council meeting, they could do it. Whether he's going to veto it or not, I don't know, but we'll find out. St. Catharines and Niagara Lake have come in with city budgets under 2% for 2026. And always remember, when they give you the number, regional tax, that has to be put on your taxes as well. It's not a heck of a lot when it's spread out over 500,000 people in the region, right? Then itchy nose again. Must be mean I'm getting money. I'm getting money. But anyway, they have to be added on, and then you're going to get your water bill with a 7% increase or whatever it is. Then transit numbers on top of that, on top of city budget. So get out your wallets. It could be an expensive year for Niagara Falls residents, as the numbers being looked at preliminarily were 6%, a 6% increase this year. And we have $20 million that, like, St. Catharines and Niagara Lake don't have. And they kept their budgets in at 1.87%, under 2% anyway. So we have to wonder what's going on down at City Hall. And that's why we're going to go through the budget and question some things and let councilors know what we think, and see if we can get this budget down to less than 6% for sure. I think it should be zero. I think we can easily make it zero. It's simple math. They make it all complicated. Don't let them intimidate you. They're going to make it complicated because they want the money. Don't let them intimidate you. Have your say. Okay, thanks to Dave Johnson, a Welland-based reporter for the Welland Tribune article regarding the Welland budget. And that's, I don't know what they're running. If that's just the capital budget or the whole budget, or they've done it all at once. We do it in two parts in Niagara Falls. We do the capital budget coming up November 25th, and then finalize it first week of December. And then we do the operations budget come January and get into that towards the middle of January. So that's how we do it here. I'm not sure how Welland and St. Catharines and Niagara on the Lake do it, if they look at it all at once and then they just say this is it. Okay, so I saw 2 new coffee shops have popped up in downtown Niagara Falls. Caffery and Coffee Pulse. So what do we have, like 10 coffee shops downtown now? I think the only thing we have more of is weed shops. I mean, how are these coffee shops going to be making money? We saw some leave, that Cafe Mahade or whatever the heck it was called, and that Balzac, and then there was a Queen's Bean in there. I congratulate them, but I don't know. Like, we've got a lot of coffee shops downtown, it seems to me. Maybe not. Well, the Highlight, that's kind of a coffee shop. And other places you can get coffee down there, I'm sure. I'm not sure which ones. I mean, I'm sure Paris Crepes has coffee, but I mean, coffee shops, what do you need? How are they going to stay in business? How much coffee do people drink? People go out for coffee at prices these days. I don't know. I think their optimism lies in the fact that the University of Niagara Falls is down there, and they think all these students are going to run into their place and drink coffee. I don't know. That must be what they're thinking. I don't want to be negative regarding Queen Street. I know I am a lot. Sorry. But seriously, how long do you think these places are going to last? I got to ask that question. Without people from the city going down and supporting them, how long can they last? I mean, the only stores that seem to stay open are weed stores down there, and Grand Central, and so far Havana. That's been doing good. The Cuban place. The other places I really don't know about how they're doing. Bars seem to be doing better than everybody. The pizza joint on the corner seems to be okay. There are some businesses that are going to do good down there. I mean, there's a new phone store that just opened down there. Somebody told me. I don't know how they're going to be doing down there. All the students have phones. It would make sense that students are always looking for the newer model. They always have the money for that. I don't know how. And looking for whatever better prices or whatever. So they might make a go of it. Coffee shops. Well, I wish them all the best. We wish all the businesses downtown all the best. Hope they do well. We'll just have to wait and see. And there may be something saving them here if this thing gets going in that. And that's the meteor crater. How is a meteor crater going to save these people, these businesses? Well, the meteor crater is going to be developed, and two public meetings are scheduled to deal with it. The first is on Wednesday, November 19th at 4:30 in the Memorial Room at the Gale Center. The second is at the City Council meeting on December 9th in City Council chambers. So I think I'm going to take a stroll down to the Gale Center on November 19th and go to that meeting and see what's going up with my meteor crater. I hope they call the building the Meteor Building. That would make sense. But I want to go to that meeting at 4:30 at the Gale Center in the Memorial Room and see what's up with my meteor crater. I've been talking about it for 3 years. It's been the punchline of a lot of my jokes. Now we're going to see what they're going to be doing with it. Now, from what I see, they're going to build a 10-story apartment building on it, which is supposed to be attainable apartments and subsidized apartments. Now, when I read that, I kind of chuckle a little bit, because with the University of Niagara Falls down there, who do you think is going to be in this building? Seriously, please tell me. You don't have to be a rocket scientist to figure this one out. It's going to end up being student housing, even though the University of Niagara Falls is supposed to be building a 20-story student housing building on the old King Eddie property. They got the okay for a 20-story, and they got the okay for a 20-story on the meteor crater. So I don't know. In the summer, I did see surveyors in there. I did see people taking core samples to see what contamination is in there. It's supposed to be contaminated. We'll see. But they're going to start developing it, and we're going to find out about it at the meeting, November 19th, 4:30, Gale Center in the Memorial Room. Be there. Let's all go down there and see what they're planning. I got to see this. This should be good. If you're going to be there, let me know. We'll all meet up and sit in one section. And we could all be kicking each other in the shins, trying not to laugh at what's going on, but it should be interesting. And they're inviting you to ask questions. So if you have a question to ask away. And the people who are living right in that area, they're going to be there having something to say as well. They have something to say about this. I want to get to my second sponsor, Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. And you know what? Whenever I get a pizza, the one thing I'm looking for is consistency. That's right. I want consistency. I want the pizza to be good every time I get it, and I know it's going to be good. How do you do that? Well, you use the same recipe for sauce. That's been tried and true. You use the same recipe for crust. That's been tried and true. And you know you have people who know how to mix the sauce and cheese in the right ratio on the pizza and then cook it to perfection. That's what Pete's Pizza does every time they make a pizza. They use the Mancini family recipe for sauce, been around for 40 years. They use the Mancini family recipe for crust, been around for 40 years. How can you go wrong? The guys know how to make a pizza. They cook it just right with fresh toppings, whatever you like. They have them all, even pineapple. You're all set. You got yourself a pizza that is second to none. Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue, a full menu: chicken wings, poutine, steak and cheese poutine, steak sandwiches, chicken parm sandwiches, panzerotti. They have it all there. All good, all fresh, made for you. You can't go wrong. How do you get one of these beautiful pizzas? You dial 905-374-2222, or you go to Victoria Avenue or Pizza Victoria.ca. That's right. Pizza Victoria.ca. You go there, you order right online. They use Dash and Skip and Dine and whatever the heck all the other ones are as well. So you can get yourself a nice hot pizza. Now they've opened a store in Northwest Niagara Falls, the Roadstone Road in Kaler, for you people in the northwest section of the city. You can have great pizza too now. How about that? Open till 2 in the morning, Fridays and Saturday for your convenience. Midnight during the week. Pizza Victoria Avenue. Get your pizza today. Tell them Paul from Your City, Your Voice sent you. Okay, has anybody seen the video on YouTube of the guy exploring the old Cyanamid property for encampments? It's a mind-blowing video. I think he did a series of like 4 videos through there or something. And it's amazing the number of people living on that old contaminated property by the Gale Center right now, as we speak. There's many encampments in there. I'm not sure who the guy is, but he takes a bicycle ride through the property, entering off of Buttrey Street and cruising all the way through to the Gale Center right next to the old Milek ball hockey rinks. And there's going to be homes built on that property, and they have encampments right there. I mean, they're going to be living next to homeless encampments. The people that buy any of those places after they build them, I wonder if they know, number one, they're on contaminated land, and number two, there's encampments right that's going to be their neighbors. I wonder if that'll be disclosed to them. Interesting. I mean, it's really an eye opener to see what's going on in there as this guy takes a ride through these. There's all kinds of paths and trails. If you look at it, it looks like a bunch of bush. But there's all kinds of paths and trails through there. And like people hidden by high weeds, like tall weeds. This guy had a machete with him cutting down the weeds to get through because he couldn't ride through it on his bicycle. They were so thick. And while he was doing that, it was really eerie, really weird because people were, you could hear them rustling, running through the weeds and rustling through the weeds. Pretty weird. I wouldn't have went in there. I know he had a machete, but I wouldn't have went in there. It's right out of like Blair Witch Project or whatever that was called. Pretty weird. I definitely would not go in there at night. Yeah, pretty crazy. But he went in there. He had a machete to chop down the tall grasses and probably to chop down people if he had to. Even he would not go in there after dark, I don't think. I mean, that's crazy. That's crazy. Oh man, oh man, oh man. But this is an interesting video. If you can find it. I couldn't find it again. I saw it once, I couldn't find it again, believe it or not. Now, my question, why doesn't he go in and clean them out? That's my question. Why not go in there and clean them all out? Why don't the city go in there and clean them all out? I mean, they're right there. You can hear the helicopters flying overhead. You can see the Gale Center. The trail comes out at the new homes they built right behind the Gale Center. And it goes all through the Cyanamid property. I don't know why somebody don't go in there and get rid of them. Tell them out. You can't live here. Hey, the mailman's here. We get a mailman day today. I wish I could find this presentation. It's a 3-part video, sorry. I have no idea who did it, but I'll find out, report back to you so you can watch it too. Stay tuned. It's a mind blower how many people are living in that old property. I knew there was some homeless in there. There's tons of encampments. The guy, while he was riding through, ran into this woman who was dragging a big suitcase through there, and she couldn't drag it, so he helped her drag it out. Got her to the railway bridge on Buttrey Street by Buttrey Street there, on CN Railway Bridge, going over Victoria Avenue over the railway lines, and got her out there. But where she was going, I don't know. But she lived in there for a long time, she said. Okay, let's get down to the Ottawa area where Carney's budget survived a second confidence vote. Now, I talked about last week, it got through the first confidence vote. Now it's survived the second one, and there's one more to go on November 17th, as crazy as that sounds. And you have to think it's going to pass too. So everybody who thought they were going to bring this government down, and that's what everybody thought, wrong, wrong. It's amazing what's going on. And they may not even have to have the NDP or the Bloc Québécois to help them if members of Poilievre's party don't quit exiting. There's an exodus from the Conservatives. They might not even need it, because if a couple more people jump over, they got a majority. So they don't have to have anybody's permission to do anything. All it takes is two more Conservatives to cross the floor, and that could happen between now and when the vote is, the last vote on November 17th. I mean, what's the date today? Today's the 10th, so we got a week. A week today, we'll see what happens. So if they get the liberal majority, if they get the majority of these liberals, they're going to have a clean path to at least 4 years. So we're going to have Carney for 4 more years without question. We don't want that, but there's nothing we can do about it. They've got to vote the budget down, say no, and Poilievre, he's saying no. He wants it to be kept at 42 million. They're at 78 million. He doesn't like the programs and the giveaways. I've talked about them before. But unfortunately, it looks like he's going to get away with it, and he's going to be our PM for another. I mean, Canada's done anyway. Let's face it. We've gone down the tubes. We're done. We're as done as New York City. And these are just the final nails being put in a coffin. Carney was hired to liquidate Canada, and that's exactly what he's doing. He's going to break us, and there's not a damn thing we can do about it, because there's just too many factions in this country, too many different groups claiming territory and voting for him because he lets them have that territory, and they're not going to get rid of them. They are not going to get rid of their golden goose, their ticket to form their own caliphates in Canada. That's all there is to it. It's pretty evident. You don't have to be a genius to figure this out. I'm not a smart guy. I'm not that smart. I just read the writing and use common sense to see the writing on the wall. That's it. Well, the communist Muslim mayor-elect of New York City, the anti-Semite terrorist, hasn't done enough damage with his free everything amnesty for all illegals, not to mention rent freezes and defunding police. And don't forget raising the tax rates on millionaires and corporations to pay for everything that's going to be free. Now he's even after crypto. That's right, all you Bitcoin holders in New York State, well, not New York State, New York City anyway, are going to have to pay tax on your Bitcoin transactions if you live in the big shawarma. Take that, you capitalist pigs. He hates capitalism. He hates it. He calls himself a democratic socialist because you can't run on a platform calling yourself a communist, right? And I heard somebody say, I don't care if he's a Muslim or not. I'm just talking about his programs. They're going to kill New York State, and they are. There's a mass exodus happening already. Mamdandy wants the government to be your business partner. So in everything, you want to go buy groceries? The government's your business partner. You want to rent? The government's your business partner. You want to ride the bus? The government's your business partner. But as soon as the government takes everything over and gives it to you for free, which we know, anybody who's got half a brain knows nothing is free. I've never met a bus driver that works for nothing. I have never met a doctor, a lawyer, an Indian chief who works for nothing. Doesn't matter what you are, you want to get paid. So free is out of the question. When they say free, they mean taxpayers. So he wants to be your business partner and everything. They want to legitimize illegal aliens, give them everything free, although they have not contributed one red cent to support the city or the country for that matter. And that's what he brings to the table for New York City. People are going to flee in droves. There's going to be a mass exodus, like Moses leading the people out of Egypt. The very people that have to be there to support the free programs, they're getting the hell out. So where he thinks he's going to get his money from, I don't know. He's whacked. He's whacked. Think about that one for a while. Now, this Mamdandy is turning into a wolf in sheep's clothing. He was there all nicey nice when he ran for the campaign, helping everybody and that. But as soon as he got elected, and that's up for discussion, he delivered a fiery message to the people of New York City, to the capitalists, to anyone that would oppose him, and he sent a direct message to President Trump. Hands off New York City. If you send ICE agents in here to remove illegal aliens, we're going to arrest them. He repeated his communist agenda. Going to run everything, going to take over everything. What he's going to do is turn New York City into the gutter of the United States of America, the biggest city, the Big Apple, now the big shawarma. It's going down with this guy. It's going to be the gutter. It's going to be the gutter of the USA. There's nothing to stop it. He's got his mayorship January 1st. It all starts. Now, this Ugandan national anti-Semite is bringing Sharia law to town, and the residents are planning a mass exodus like never seen before. The rich and middle class are getting out of there. They're all going. It's going to be a dystopian nightmare for the people who remain, for the people who can't leave, for the people who believe that he's going to do them good with free everything. And not only is he going to have to deal with those people who are going to have nothing and not going to be able to pay for anything, what about the freeloaders that are going to come into the city? There's going to be thousands coming into the city because everything is free. All the people, it's amazing. It's amazing what's going to happen. And democratic socialism, it's just a gentler name for communism. I mean, he couldn't say I'm running to bring communism into New York City. So he said, I'm a democratic socialist equals communist. I mean, how could these people in New York City forget 911 and what happened to it? But Muslim mayors seem to be the order of the day in free countries. There's about 8 of them in the UK now, more coming in North America as the invaders, and that's what it is. It's been an invasion. It hasn't been immigration. It's been a total invasion. And you can see it happening. Look around. You'll see it happening in real time. I don't have to tell you this. Anybody with their eyes open can see what's going on. Go to Toronto and visit Little Iran. Go to see how they've taken over neighborhoods. And look at Niagara Falls, what's going on. I mean, there's cities in the United States run under Sharia law. Dearborn, Hamtramck, Detroit's getting there. Now New York City. I'm sure there's factions in LA, Seattle, Portland, all of them, all over. Memphis. It's what's happening now. And I'm gonna quote my deceased friend, Iggy, the guitar playing songwriter. He wrote this. This was like 40 years ago. It won't be long before we're gone, our faces memories. It won't be long before we're gone, so let's sing one last song. How prophetic is that? Hey, I want to get over to my third sponsor, Hamel Machine Company. And whenever an industry moves into a city, it doesn't matter whether it's Niagara Falls or any other city, they look for a good machine shop to help them out. Why? Because when their machines go down, it costs them money. Time is money. Lost production is money. So they need somebody that has a machine shop who's qualified to fix their machines, and they want it done pronto. They don't want to wait for parts to be flown in from all over the world, if they even have them today. They want it fixed now. So what happens? Bob Benner from Hamel Machine Company goes down there. He looks at the machine and says, "Yeah, we can fix this." They can either fix the broken part, re-engineer the broken part with their 3D printers and their water jet cutters, but they don't just do that. They have such a talented staff of people, designers, fabricators, operators, that they don't just replace the part, they replace it with something that works better. More production, more money. That's the way it works. And they've done it for the food industry. They've done it for the wine industry. They've done it for the agricultural product industry. That's what they do. That's what they're good at. Hamel Machine Company, that's the place you want to go, even if you have something done. Hey, you had your snowblower out there and grabbed a big branch and sheared your pin. They can fix it. They can fix it at Hamel. Need back gates for your backyard to protect your pool? They can fabricate them, weld them up, create them for you, design them for you. They can do everything. Hamel Machine Company been here since 1948 in Niagara Falls. Tried and true. They know what they're doing. All you have to do is go to their website, hamelmachine.ca, and you can see the spectacular work they've done for the wine industry around here. Oh, they work for the region, the city. They do all. They work for everybody here. They do fantastic work. Give them a call today if you have anything you need fabricated, welded, milled, planed, you name it. Hey, they can do it. Tell them Paul from Your City Your Voice sent you. Support these small businesses in Niagara Falls because they're good corporate citizens and they support the city and the show. Thank you very much. We love our sponsors. Okay, so there's an old saying, it's not over until it's over. I think Yogi Berra probably said that one. And Senator John Kennedy from Louisiana is demanding a full scale investigation into Mamdandy's. We're going to stick with Mamdandy for a minute. His slim 184 vote win over Andrew Cuomo. His concern, the ballots are clean. Oh, his concern, he wants to make sure the ballots are clean. Illegals are not eligible to vote, and there's suspicion a lot of them voted for Mamdandy. So we'll see where this accusation goes, and if an investigation is indeed launched into this questionable win. Remember, before I said he's mayor for now. We're going to see what happens. There's a lot of things going on in the background against this guy because people don't want him. He got elected, maybe fairly, maybe not. But John Kennedy, the senator from Louisiana, is questioning the win and wants an investigation launched into it. So we'll see what comes with that. So this government shutdown ended last night. 60 senators managed to vote yay to opening the government again. And it was a big process going on there last night. I put a little post on. It looks like a done deal. Stay tuned. Well, everybody wants to blame it on the Republicans, but that's not the facts. The facts are that every single Republican voted, maybe with the exception of Rand Paul, because he's a lunatic these days. They voted to keep the government open. It was the Democrats who voted against it. And because you have to have a supermajority, 60 votes to be able to keep it open, the Democrats wouldn't vote to keep it open. Every Republican did. So there's where the problem lies. And as long as they won't vote to keep it open, they called it a filibuster. Then it can't open. But here are some of the things that bugged the Republicans and why they wouldn't relent to what the Democrats wanted to keep in the spending bill. I'm going to read them off to you. It's going to blow your mind. Now, we know there's $1.5 trillion they wanted to spend to give illegal aliens, people who have, number one, no right to be in the country, and number two, definitely no right to have their medical paid for. And people talk about under the Constitution they have the right. No, Americans have rights under the Constitution. Illegal aliens do not have rights under the Constitution. They may have human rights, but they don't have rights under the Constitution. They don't even have a right to be in America. Being there illegally means they're criminals, and criminals are deported. So, yeah, I don't care if they've been working there for 20 years. It doesn't matter. They're there illegally, and they got to go. And that's why Trump gave them the opportunity to self-deport. Get your ass out of here. I'm going to give you $1,000, and then you apply to come back legally. We want you here, and we'll hold your job maybe even for you. But you got to apply to get in legally. Now, if you don't and we deport you, you're not coming back. That's all there is to it. Your choice. So, not only $1.5 trillion for that, hundreds of millions of dollars for the LGBTQ people, to the alphabet people, I call them, to have operations and whatever else. That's done now. But here's some other things that they had in this spending bill, and this is why it wasn't being okayed by the Republicans, because they took all this out. But this is what the Democrats wanted: $3 million for circumcision and vasectomies for men in Zambia. Boy, this sounds like something Canada would do. $500,000 for electric buses in Rwanda. $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes for male prostitutes in Haiti. I'm not making this up. I can't even make this up. It's so ridiculous. $3.6 million for pastry cooking classes for male prostitutes in Haiti. $6 million for media organizations in Palestine to help them put up propaganda, the terrorists. $833,000 for transgender people in Nepal. $300,000 for a pride parade in Lesotho, wherever the hell that is. Dave Wheeler, you probably know. $833,000 for social media mentorship in Serbia. You think I'm making these up? I can't make these up. I can't even think of this crap. $4.2 million for the alphabet people in Western Balkans and Uganda. $4.2 million. These are the kind of line items that were in this spending bill that when they went through it, the Republicans removed. This is baloney. We see this in Canada, giving money away to these wacky groups. $3 million for circumcision and vasectomies for men in Zambia. Are you kidding me? And you wonder why the Republicans said no? AOC and the radical left-wing socialists do not want these items removed from the spending bill. And they're willing to keep the government shut down until they are put back in. That's what it was all about, these wacky spending. I mean, $1.5 trillion for illegal alien healthcare. This is the way it is. And then you wonder why the Republicans said no. We're not putting them back in. The American people deserve better. So last night I was watching because they're having the vote again for the 15th time. I think the Democrats turned down the spending bill 14 times in the last 40 days. And last night it was 59-40. They were waiting for one more senator to vote. He wasn't in town. He flew in to vote. And he was supposed to vote yay, so would mean the filibuster by the Democrats was over. Government can reopen, avoiding Trump using the nuclear option to get government moving again after the longest shutdown in U.S. history. So that actually happened last night. They did get the 60th vote. So here we go. Trump didn't have to use the nuclear option. And the nuclear option, in case you're wondering, explain it to you so you understand it a little bit, is basically it's a procedure that allows the Senate to override a standing rule by simple majority. So to be able to pass this spending bill, they needed a super majority, which is 60 senators. Now, they can break this filibuster, this delay, this 40-day delay. They could have done it today using the nuclear option, because when they invoke the nuclear option, they only need a simple majority, which means that the Republicans already have a majority. They could have just had a vote to stop the filibuster. They would have voted yes, of course, because they have the majority, and then everything would start working again. So that's what was going to happen today if they didn't pass that last night. Now, as a point of discussion, usually the Senate doesn't like to use the nuclear option because they think the other party will back down rather than cut off services to people. So the Republicans really thought the Democrats would relent, which they did. Trump won eventually, but it took 40 days. But they should have really relented earlier to get it going again and not have people being laid off and people not getting their food stamps and under the SNAP program and everything else. But really, when you see it, it's really all about power. Who's really got the power here? Yes, the Republicans have the majority. Yes, they need a super majority to pass a spending bill, and the Democrats delayed it because they wanted this nonsense in there. So they're hoping the other party backs down, shows they're in control. But the Democrats said, no, we don't like Trump, so we're not backing down. We want to have circumcisions in Zambia. So basically, the nuclear option is the tool that can get everything going again. And of course, they didn't have to use it. The negotiations went into late hours last night. So Democrats never got all this stuff back in the bill, but there's some negotiations going on to get them to move over and vote for it. And I think 7 Democrats voted for it. And of course, Trump wants to totally get rid of the filibuster. It's so stupid. So this doesn't happen again. In other words, he wants to get rid of the supermajority to break a filibuster. And even better, not even have it. So it's a real wacky system, but it works. And it still isn't over. Any one senator can delay consideration of the package for several days more. Plus, the House will have to return and adopt the deal struck in the Senate before it gets sent to the president to sign. So it's got to go back to the House. Congress is made up of the House and the Senate. And as long as rhinos don't throw a wrench into the proceedings, it should be ready for the president to sign, maybe even by the end of the week. In a simple majority, that's all it takes to get the bill through both houses. And it's something the Republicans have. They have the majority, so it should go through. Trump wins again. No concessions, no bending of the knee, just straight up good policy for Americans. Do you understand all this? I know it's complicated, but it's worked for over 250 years. And I understand this a lot better than our Canadian parliamentary system of governing. I really, really do, because I don't get parliament at all. I don't even get that. Non-confidence votes and all the other stuff aside, I don't know. It's just crazy the way they do things. But this is the way they do it in the States, and it looks like that's going to get through. They're going to open everything up, and it's good they did before Thanksgiving, because at the end of the day, It's the busiest travel day of the year, and thousands of flights are being canceled or delayed now because air traffic controllers weren't getting paid, and they had to go and get jobs, part-time jobs at places, driving Uber or whatever, because they didn't have any money. They were getting paychecks. They could only work for so long without getting paid. They got bills to pay. 40 days is a long time. 40 days and 40 nights. Huh, biblical, isn't it? Okay, if you've been following the Three Eye Atlas saga, has everybody been following this like me? You may have already heard this. This, and I'm not sure, but a message was received from this interstellar visitor, and this interstellar visitor they thought was a comet. It is spaceship, an alien ship, and there was four chilling words making up this message they got, and they said it in English. Those words were, "Your time is ending." Now, the total message measured 60 seconds, but that 60-second message contains 17 hours of compressed information along with it that we do not have the technology to decipher right now. That's a pretty chilling message from this alien visitor, this interstellar alien ship. Now, scientists, the people who got this, say, hey, it's not a message, it's not a warning. Who's this going around here? Huh. But that 60-second message is a verdict. That's right, it's a verdict. Whatever Three Eye Atlas is, whoever controls it, they've passed verdict on the earth, and now is going to act on that verdict, maybe by the end of the year. So I'm not sure what this means. I'm not sure what all this means, but it is definitely a warning. Your time is ending. Now, I agree. This is one screwed up planet. And if there are any supreme beings using Earth as some kind of experiment, they probably had enough. This experiment hasn't gone well. And yeah, please do a restart. And yeah, try to get it right the next time. So if you're going to come and wipe out the earth and take us all out, okay, go ahead, do a restart. But if you're going to do it again, get it right. Now, here's the problem. I've heard this, the end of the year stuff, all my life. From doomsdayers to religious prophets to Al Gore. A zillion different stories, a zillion different times. And here we are. We're still here. All the times the earth was going to end, the rapture's coming, all this other stuff. It may come at one time. I don't know. But I know one thing. I've been here over 70 years and I haven't seen it. Is the end near? Hell, what do I know? I don't know. Like everyone else, I'm just along for the ride. We're just along in this big spinning blue marble or flat earth or whatever the heck you say it is. I don't care. It's a flat earth or round earth. Does it matter to me? I drive on the road. It's flat. I look at a picture. They say it's round. What do I care? I just go along. If I want to go to Mexico, I don't really care how I get there. Just get me there safe. But I've heard it all. Every kind of end of the world stuff. People went to Colorado to go up on a mountain or somewhere and wait for the spaceship. They're drinking Kool-Aid. They're doing all kinds of things. I haven't seen the end of the world yet. We're still here. My advice, don't start running up your credit cards. Don't start getting your debt because you think some spaceship's coming to get you out of here and you're not going to have to pay. You know, these things never work out in your favor. Murphy's Law, they never work out in your favor. Just like a zero increase in our taxes never works out in our favor. Never. Well, it just doesn't happen. Even though it could, it just doesn't. Just like the Starship. Even though it could happen, the end of the Earth could be here. Hey, I'm not counting on it. I'm not banking on it. I got another show to do tomorrow, a Remembrance Day show, which we're going to talk about one person and Lieutenant Robert Gray, Robert Hammett Gray, Hammy, and his exploits during the war. We got a Victoria Cross. We'll talk about that tomorrow. We'll be reading in Flanders Fields and just talking about the service that these veterans have given to us to keep us free. It's going to be a touching show. It always is. Wednesday is the Habs. Absolutely. We're going to talk about the Habs, and they've been doing all right. They've been doing good. Thursday, straight talk featuring the first 100 pages of the capital budget. That's right. I'm past 100 pages. I'm at 170 pages. And I'm going to choke them down 100 at a time and tell you about them, what I see, what I find. I'm with other stuff. But Thursday, I'm going to do the first 100. And then next week, I'll do another 100 and another 100. And we'll get through the 330 pages, telling you where I think we can save money, asking questions about expenditures that we should know more about. We don't. That's what I've got on tap for next week, the end of this week and next week. So tune in to Your City, Your Voice. I'm Paul K. Lemire. I'm in the studios of Video Sign Incorporated this morning because this crappy weather. I ain't going out there. Heck with that. Too many crazy drivers on the road. But it looks like it's clearing up. The driveway here is just about clear. And an hour ago it wasn't. So it'll be clear by this afternoon. I might go out there and push a little bit of snow just to clean it up a little bit. But other than that, we're going to get into the mid 40s during the week. So all this snow should be gone. It's supposed to be raining. It's going to rain, which is fine with me. I mean, rain, get rid of all the snow. And we should be clear, hopefully, until Christmas. But we'll see what happens. You never know. Anyway, have a great day, everybody. God bless you all. Support our sponsors, Wild Bill's Auto Repair and Body Shop, Hamill Machine Company, and Pete's Pizza on Victoria Avenue. The new location, Northwest Niagara Falls, Thoroldstone and Kaler. Go grab a nice pizza today. Anyway, you guys, take care. Thank you for tuning in. Appreciate it. Hit the subscribe button. Hit the thumbs up, thumbs down button. Leave a comment. I love comments. Leave a comment. And we'll get back at this tomorrow with our Remembrance Day show. Take care, and thank you for tuning in today.